and we're going to apply it, okay? We're going to apply it. Because theory is great up to a point, but we don't work in theory, we work in business, okay? We actually apply this stuff. And that's the problem with the academy, is the academy teaches you a lot of techniques that are not used in business, but are promoted by the academy because it's epistemological. It reinforces the academy and the institutions as research institutions, not applied institutions, which are business institutions. Okay? And I'm here to bridge that gap. So what I need to do at some point in time is I need to audit the chapters to know what teams have done the chapters and what chapters they haven't done, so that I can try to schedule some time. These presentations at this point in time, 5 minutes, okay? No 20, no 25, no reading from the slides, 5 minutes, 5 slides, okay? That's it. Because that's the way we work in business. 5 slides, 5 minutes. 8 minutes, 8 slides, you've lost the audience. 10 minutes, 10 slides, nobody cares. 20 minutes, 20 slides, they don't care, okay? That's the way it works. Deliverable 2 will be due Thursday, December 13th, okay? Now we have Thanksgiving, so we're not going to meet. So basically next week is it, right? And then we need to communicate either by texting, email, phone calls, Zoom rooms, whatever it takes to basically get the product, your product, refashioned so it's acceptable. Okay. Then tonight what we're going to do, you're completing the midterm now. Work on the midterm, complete it. But I got to do both because we've had 3 weeks to do the midterm. I've lost 2 weeks to train you on the valuation work. Okay, I wanted to give you the opportunity to study for the exam so that you could learn the material and come back and take the exam and do well on the exam. So I've lost some time in the process. Okay, if you didn't take the opportunity to study for the exam of the last 3 weeks, well, then we got a problem. Okay, because I gave you plenty of time to do it. We're going to do the REIT stock intrinsic valuation. I've already done a lot of the research for you. I'm going to walk you through the sources of the financial information. Cal State East Bay has an awesome library. They have amazing resources that you can utilize. I'm going to walk you through and show you where I got the information and how we can conduct this intrinsic valuation of the REIT. Okay. And we're going to do Prologis, the largest industrial REIT in the world. Okay, right here in San Francisco, they're about $18 billion in market cap. They're amazing. They are the #1 company that I know in the real estate space, and they're right here. Okay, unfortunately, they only hire from the Ivy League. Okay, they only hire from the Ivy League. They're kind of snobbish about that. But if I can train you, and you're interested, I will get you an informational interview, but you got to produce at a certain level. I'm not going to send you over if you don't produce. Okay? If you can't produce at level. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me a draft of a PowerPoint next week, and I'm going to hand out examples of PowerPoints that other students from my other universities have done over the last 2 years, and I'll show you exactly what they need to look like. Okay? And the next week you're going to bring me a PowerPoint presentation, 1 slide per page, okay, stapled in the upper left-hand corner in black and white, okay? Because when you do the presentation next week as a dry run, I will be able to give you on the spot, you know, right there, critical feedback with edits in your PowerPoint presentation, okay? And I'll be checking all the numbers, okay? And then the final draft of the presentation will be due by the leader within their deliverable package with an assessment of the performance of all of the team members, okay? Because I hear all the time at different universities that we've got this guy that won't return our emails, he won't call us, he didn't participate, and he basically put his name on the report and he got up and presented the material and he did nothing, okay? I get that all the time. That really upsets me. I'm handing out the final exam. Did everybody get the final exam? Did everybody get a copy of the final exam? No. package so far? You've been taking it. Is it hard? No. It's exactly the same, but the numbers have changed. Okay? So if you did well on the midterm, you're going to do really well on the final. Okay? And it's a take home. Okay? So it's even easier. Okay? So you can work on it and then bring it back. I don't care if you work on it in teams, but you got to make sure it's correct. Okay? Yeah. And I do have some extra blue books over here if you want to grab them. Okay. Okay, you guys need to stay. You need to pay attention. Okay. You need to stay focused here. You can't. Please do not talk when I'm talking. It's rude. Okay. I'm trying to go over this stuff so that you can do everything correctly. What I find out is that the students don't listen, okay? And then they come back to me and they go, Professor Souza, I didn't know that we had to do that. Well, if you listened to me while I was talking, then you would know exactly what you need to do, okay? So please. So I handed out the final exam. If you need a blue book, there's some extra blue books over here. If I don't give you the blue books, I may bring some extra ones next time, but again, they're only like 50 cents. I think you can afford. Thank you. And then the final exam night is the final presentations. I do like it when students come professionally dressed to do the final presentations because it adds a layer of professionalism to the presentation. Secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a set of criteria and questions in which your peers, the people within the group here, are going to evaluate you based on your presentation. The quality of the work, the actual deck, the transitions, the clarity, your ability to communicate, your ability to pitch. Okay? You're in business school, okay? This is the stuff we do in business, all right? This is why you do it. So you have the final Prologis presentation, the PowerPoint presentation, the deck that's going to be professionally bound, and I'll show you exactly how to bound it, okay, in color. Okay, so you're going to have to go to Kinko's or find a place to go get it produced. It's probably going to cost you $15 or something like that. But again, if you do a really good job on the presentation, you can make an extra copy of it, and that becomes an example of the work that you can do when you present yourself to a potential employer for an internship or a job. This is the stuff that I can do. Okay? Then any makeup chapter presentations. Okay, any makeup chapter presentations. And in the deliverables, I would like the chapter presentations that you presented throughout the semester so I can audit it. I need 3 slides per page with the notes on them, double-sided, okay? So I want to be able to audit because you guys spent a lot of time in studying and presenting the PowerPoint presentations. That's the stuff you do in grad school, so I need to be able to see how much work you actually did, okay? And then I'm going to do an exit lecture. I'm going to go very quickly, probably take about 40 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to give you a 7-module lecture that basically will give you some intellectual infrastructure to be able to make decisive decisions in your careers, both academic and professional, and know that the decisions that you're making are correct because you can't make mistakes, okay? I do not have a time machine. Apple has not invented a time machine yet. So when you make these business decisions and you make personal decisions, if you make a mistake, they could be irreputable, which means that you can't go back and correct them. And if you can't and you make the wrong decision, it will be extremely costly and it will be extremely damaging to you. So you need some intellectual infrastructure to be able to move forward, to be able to make decisive decisions. Okay? And that's the exit lecture. The deliverable is going to have the cover page. I need to look at your cover pages. Some of your cover pages are still not professional. They're still not up to the standards of the class. Okay? So I need to take a look at it. Then the memos. I need the 5 memos. If you're still confused about the memos, you need to talk to me about the memos. You got to take pictures of the templates, and you need to do the research, and you need to produce the memos for the 5 asset classes. And then the PowerPoint presentation, it's got a clear cover, black wire binding, black back, it needs to be in color, 1 slide per page. Then the chapter presentations, again, 3 slides per page, and then the note lines. Okay, so if you worked in PowerPoint before, you can pick that as a print option. And then you need to give me your resume. Did the resume work? Did the resume work?
Yeah.
Okay, so we worked together on the resumes. Tell us what happened.
Two job offers right now. There's 2 guys opening for my hotel.
Yeah, stand up. Can you stand up and tell them?
Oh, yeah. So I had a job interview and I showed them my resume. They liked it a lot. I got some advice from my professor to redo construction management, put like real numbers into it. I'll watch the job sites, how much money it fees, and pick up like this. We both got a lot of compliments on it. Got invited to opening over the weekend to basically interview for the position. So it was really cool.
Yeah, you're going to get the job.
My background, my major is construction management, and my background is what done like internships for like other companies.
So if you take the resumes, the memos, the pitch books, seriously, you theoretically should walk out of this class with a good command of the real estate language, some solid memos, solid resume, and a solid pitch book. So here are the examples. Team leads, could you come up and take an example of this? An example. These are the best pitch books that I found in my archive. And then I would recommend that you share these pitch books with each other and take pictures of them. Okay, so that you have examples of the pitch books. Okay? Now, first thing on the pitch book, this is not what your cover page should look like. Okay? That's what your cover page should not look like. Okay? Because I can't see through the opaqueness. And the first thing that your customer or your board of directors or your investment committee or your senior level managers and clients are going to see is the front page. And if you make it opaque, you're hiding something. If you make it clear, you're transparent. Okay? So they know right off the bat. This is a pitch book. This is a deck. Do you guys know what a pitch book and a deck is? Do you guys produce this stuff in your courses? Yeah, they do at Cal. They do at the Ivy League. They do in grad school. But they don't teach you how to do it, which is ridiculous. Okay? This is what we use all the time to communicate with our clients, senior level managers, investment committee, boards of directors. When we go up in front of the city to get permitting, we're using the decks and PowerPoints. We're using this stuff and we submit it. We use this for compliance. We use this in accounting. We use it in marketing. We use it in finance. We use it in everything. So the first thing is the clear cover. We need a wire, black wire binding with a black back. This is the standard. Okay? This is the standard. And the first thing, the first page, is basically your firm that you're analyzing. You do not work for the firm. You are an analyst, basically evaluating the investment possibilities associated with this research. The research, when we do the intrinsic valuations for these companies, this is what's done as an equity analyst, maybe a public securities analyst in a family office, in a brokerage house, in a pension fund advisor, in an investment firm, an investment bank, in a commercial bank. I mean, we do all this stuff. Okay? So the first thing is the company that you're evaluating. The recommendation, the intrinsic value compared to the current stock price, and the premium or discount depending on what you decided. And then do not put any reference to Cal State East Bay on this thing. Just put your team. Because I don't want it to be construed as an academic project. I want it to be construed as a professional research piece that you produced. So that when you give it to somebody to show them, they go, oh, are you in grad school? Oh, are you an equity analyst? No, this is the type of work that you produce. You've been in our course. This is kind of work that we do. Then you have your overview of what the presentation is going to be. You've got a background on the firm. I'll show you where to get the data. We got the leadership. Unfortunately, the leadership in most of these firms are guys. Okay, they're guys, and actually most of them are white guys. Okay, there's not a lot of diversity. There's not a lot of women. Okay, which is just an opportunity, right? You know, do not use board members. Board members don't do anything. Okay, they just rubber stamp what the CEO says. So they need these divisional line heads. Heads of asset management, heads of investments, development and acquisitions, the CFO of the company, maybe a CTO of the company, because REITs, real estate companies, are now becoming incubators for tech type of initiatives within the companies, sustainability, renewable energy, other aspects. So when you research the firm, you want to find out who are the leaders and get their pictures and put them in here with their title, where they did their MBA, where they went to school, where they were before, and how many years they were with the company.
The board members, don't they control like where the company goes in the direction?
There's just corporate governance. It's usually the CEO, who is the charismatic leader that basically dictates the strategic path of the company. And usually if the CEO is charismatic enough, he basically oversees it overpowers the board. The board just becomes a rubber stamp. I'm not saying that it's like that for all the firms, but I'm just saying a lot of times what you'll see is these firms, the CEO is also the chairman of the board, which in my view is a conflict of interest, that basically just promotes principal agent problems within the firm and potential government issues. That's just so this kind of gives you an idea of who these people are and what their competencies are. Then the organizational structure of the firm, we find the org chart or something to see how the firm is actually organized. Because the way the firm is organized is going to tell you how well the firm matches up to the marketplace. And then if it doesn't match up and the company's myopic, then they need to restructure and reorg the company to match the demands of the marketplace. Okay? So a discussion of the org structure. Then you have geographic diversification. Most of these REITs are pure play REITs. They're in one product type. Prologis is in industrial. That's it. So they get diversification through geographic diversification and or economic-based diversification. Prologis is a logistics firm that locates the majority of their properties, almost all of their properties, by transportation hubs. They have large facilities, 100 square foot, 30 foot high, basically automated warehousing distribution facilities on the tarmacs, at the airport, at trucking terminals, at the ports, Long Beach, in LA, in Seattle, in Oakland. So they're strategically located, and Prologis is a global logistics firm. Okay? They were the first to go global in the early to mid-1990s, and they actually were a private firm that convinced their institutional investors to contribute their properties and their interests in the firm, and then the investment bankers and the management consultants basically advised the firm and took it public. The firm has gone from $2 billion to $18 billion in less than 20 years. That's phenomenal growth. These people are brilliant.
So what is the significance between their location in the ports and everything like that?
They get as close to the intermodal, trucking, shipping, cargo, airport cargo. They get as close as they can to the transportation hubs for logistics purposes. Because if I'm Cisco, or I'm Rockwell, or I'm any firm, I want to be able to distribute, I want to manufacture, and I want to be able to ship my product through the ports, through the airports, through the trucking terminals to my clients.
So it goes to them first, and then they ship it out?
Yeah, so it comes in, you know, they got the warehouse and distribution facility at the old Oakland Army base. They just built the facility. The stuff comes in through the port of Oakland. It's thrown onto a truck, and the cargoes onto the trucks bring it into the warehousing distribution facilities, they break that stuff down, it gets put back into other trucks and or rail and or back into the airport and gets shipped out to all parts of the United States and overseas, depending on the value of that components and the value of that product that's being manufactured. And I'll go through it. So here we show what the major markets are in which they're geographically located, along with the percentage, and they actually threw in a pie chart to make it look. So very quickly, we can see exactly where their geographic diversification and their geographic concentration is. Then you have the SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. How many people are seniors in this class? Okay, so next semester, did you already take your capstone course? No? That's right. This is basically a mini capstone course in this exercise. Okay. So once you do this, you'll be in a better position for the capstone course. Because basically this is your capstone exercise. But it's crammed into 1 week instead of, it should have been 3 weeks, but 1 week instead of 6 weeks. Then you have the competitors. Okay? You have the competitors. And I've already, I'll show you where some of this information is. I'll distribute it to you. Mainly, the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts produces a quarterly report that gives you some key data for the top companies within the property sectors. Okay? So I'll show you where to get that data. So then you're going to put the company, the ticker, and then their market cap. Okay? And you're going to use this page. I only need the top 5 to be able to calculate the weights that you're going to use to calculate the peer group ratios. Okay? So you actually have 3 weeks to really work on this thing, right? Next week, the following week, and then the final. Right? So you really have 3 weeks. Right? Not a week. You have a week slammed together draft. You got 3 weeks to publish the final draft. Okay? Then you have the financial ratios. Okay? Financial ratios, you're going to get the financial ratios for the target firm, for the direct competitor. You're going to calculate the peer group ratios. You're going to get the industry ratios. And then you're going to go basically row by row and compare your target firm's financial ratios to the direct competitor and the peer group. And if they're better, you're going to give it either excellent, good, above average, average, below average, or poor rating. Prologics and these top companies very rarely have poor or below average financial ratios. They're too good. Okay? So usually you're going to have excellent, good, maybe above average. Okay? And I'll write this on the board so that you know. You're going to do 2 sets of financial ratio analysis, which is the first step in the fundamental securities analysis. Okay? Before you invest in a company, you have to do the financial ratio analysis to get an overall condition and an overall assessment of the overall financial condition and position of the firm. In this case, for this company, overall, they have a good rating for the first set of financials. For the second set of financials, again, we conducted the financial ratio analysis, and overall, they got above average. So basically, they're above average together. Okay? So that kind of gives you a good feeling for where this company is going. Then, actually, what we do is we usually do a technical analysis, where we look at the exact, can I take a look at that? Yeah, you go to stockcharts.com, you basically get 3 years of data. You do a 10-day, 30-day moving day, simple moving average. It's going to give you the RSI and the MACD. As you can see, there's a support line, the resistance line. This one actually doesn't go back far enough, so they didn't do it right. And then you get a trend line. Okay. Then what you do is you just trend the price out 1 year to basically November 8th, 2019, and then you use that as the target price that you put right there, compare it to the current stock price, and you calculate the premium or the discount. In most cases, it's going to be a premium. If it's got an upward slope, if it's been trading flat, it's basically going to be the same as the current price. And if the trend is going down, it's probably going to be at a discount. Right? But a lot of these stocks actually been in a upward trend for quite some time, so you got to do the analysis. And then the first, we have already done this, right? We've already done this. So the first intrinsic valuation method is going to be the perpetuity model. Okay? And tonight what we'll do as quickly as possible is I will run through the valuation methodologies. Okay? And you will go online to the library and start feeding me data as quickly as possible so you can calculate the stuff and get out of here. Okay? And then next week we'll refine it and we'll go over it again and just continue to work on it. Okay? First thing you're going to do is you're going to calculate the expected return on the stock using the capital asset pricing model. Most of you are finance majors, so you took finance, whatever your intro corporate finance is. Some of you guys have been accounting majors, so you know how to calculate the expected return for your first discount rate using capital. Okay? And then you're going to have the projected funds from operation, actually that's there, not down there. And then I'm going to go through how to determine the discount rates. We're going to come up with 3. We're going to run valuations based on 3 discount rate sensitivities. Okay? And we're going to use 2019 FFO, or funds from operations per share, as our numerator to calculate the intrinsic values using the first 3 intrinsic valuation methodologies. Okay? Hopefully by now, my language, you understand what I'm talking about, because I've only been saying this over and over again for the last month. Okay? Then the next method you're going to do is the margin growth. We're going to do 3 discount rate sensitivities and 3 growth rate sensitivities and create basically a valuation grid. Okay? Then you're going to do the multiple approach. All right? Tonight you're going to feed me some multiples, or actually, I think I actually got the multiples already. I don't have the multiples for 2017. You can go get it. But I've already done the multiples for you. Okay? That we'll be able to use along with some other multiple calculations to come up with basically a set or a sample of FFO multiples that we will use to then set the 3 intrinsic, the 3 multiples that we're going to use as the sensitivities to calculate the intrinsic value using the multiple approach. This is like real estate, corporate finance wrap. That's me. Okay. The next method is the net asset value. Okay, net asset value. So what we'll do is what we'll find from the financial statements, and I gave you in the primer basically some guidelines on how to calculate the net asset value per share. It's like the book value per share for regular stocks. What you do is you get the net operating income projected for 2019, and you divide it by what is called a blended cap rate, or a capitalization rate. You divide the NOI for 2019 by the cap rate, is going to give you the net asset value for the firm. You divide that by the shares outstanding, that's going to give you the net asset value per share for the company, which is basically the estimated value of the underlying real estate. You compare the current price to the net asset value, and in most cases, the company's stock price trades at a premium to the net asset value, because that delta, that premium, is the franchise value of the firm that the management brings, and that is priced into the stock price. And there's an article in that primer that I gave you on franchise value. Okay? Then what you're going to do, we've seen this before, you're going to do the discounted cash flow. Actually, the discounted cash flow comes before the net asset value, and the net asset value comes last. Then you do the DCF methodology. You're going to calculate one of your discount rates using the weighted average cost of capital. You're going to do tonight. You're going to have your 5 years of funds from operations per share projected out. You're going to project out the 6th year. You're going to calculate the terminal value. You're going to add to the 5th year. You're going to discount that cash flow back to the 5th year discount factor. Then you're going to do the cash flow for year 4, 3, 2, 1, divided by the discount factor for year 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to add up the present value, and that's going to be your intrinsic value using the discounted cash flow method. Does this all sound familiar? If it doesn't, then you weren't here, right? And you didn't watch the videos. So then the last page is your weighted valuation. You have 3 weighting scenarios. You have the valuations for the different approaches. Perpetuity and NAV should be the least weighted, okay? And then Gordon growth gets a weight at multiple, and discounted cash flow get the majority of the weights, okay? And then you're going to calculate your intrinsic value using the middle scenario. You're going to put it there compared to the current stock price and calculate the premium or the discount. On the last page, which you've seen before, you can give the recommendations, you can give the trades, the indexes, for the ETFs, for the stocks, and give you the total amount of trades. The next slide after that is usually your references that you use. Make sure you write down the references that you use tonight. And then usually the very last page is the signing page, where you put your name, you put your title, you put your credentials, okay? CFA, CPA, PhD, whatever it is, and then you have a date, and you have a signature, and you sign it, and you give it to the board, okay? Which basically means that you've signed off on the research, and there's no conflict of interest, and you get the best of your capabilities based on your knowledge and the data you collected to produce this research to make the recommendations.
So we want to do that, we'll just do the reference. We want to do the sign-off thing, just the reference.
You can do it if you want to. But you definitely need the references, and I do like the sign-off page. Because I think it just adds a more professionalism to the next. Okay? So how are we doing on time?
7:30.
Okay, perfect. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Question on that. So are you going to assign us like a specific?
Prologis.
Okay.
PLD.
So everybody's in the same one?
Everybody's doing the same one, so you can work in teams. Okay.
We are all doing one.
One team, one pitch. Okay, where's the miscommunication? What?
One man, one stable.
One standard, one quality standard, one company. I don't know how many teams we have. Okay. But it's all going to be at the same time. You're all going to present on the same, because I don't have 3 weeks or a whole semester to train you on this stuff. Or you are be assigning different companies, different teams. You can't do that. We don't have enough time. Okay. And then what you'll find out is, based on the draft presentations next week, you will be able to see from the other teams what they're doing well, so that you can model and incorporate back into your presentation. Yes.
Are we using our own company or?
No. You were doing Prologis, PLD.
Oh.
Okay? No. I will go through it in a second. I'm going to walk you through everything. Okay? But what I need you to do is I need you to turn on your computers and go to the Cal State Library. So now what I'm going to do, you need to take notes on this. Okay? You need to take notes. And it's probably going to take an hour now to do all this stuff, if you want to get through all of it now. So if you need to go to the bathroom or anything, I would go to the bathroom now. Because once I get started, I'm going. Has everybody used the Cal State East Bay Library?
Yeah,
Okay, here's your main page right here, right? And it says library right there. Okay, so you need to log in. You need to know how to do this, because you're all going to be doing research in some form or another in your capacity. You're going to be doing research. So you got to know how to do the research. So you go to the library, Okay, and then the first thing you do, tell me when everybody's got their computers up. That's why I got the computer lab, so we can do this. So I can hands-on training. So has everybody got their computers up with the library page? Anybody not there? Okay. Okay. Anybody not there? Everybody there? Anybody not there? I'm not going to go ahead until everybody's up and running. So I'm going to move pretty quickly. Okay, is everybody there? Fran, are you still? I think everybody's pretty much there. You can share her computer if you need to. Okay, everybody's there. You guys can sit together and watch. All right, so everybody's there. So the first thing you're going to do is go to these databases right here. All right, and there's like 4 or 5 sources that I use. First, you go to M, and you're going to go to merge it. Okay. The other one you're going to do is S. Okay. And what I would do is just open up multiple windows. Open up a bunch of windows and have the resource have a designated web page. Okay. And then S is going to be S&P 500. Standard & Poor's right here, Net Advantage. Okay. And then the other one you're going to use is M under Morningstar, right here, Investment Research. Okay. So the first one, this is what your merging page should look like. And just right there, type in PLD, which is the ticker. And the Prologis page should come up, and it should look like that. Okay. You want to open up multiple pages. So you want to have Standard & Poor's, Mergent, and you want to have Morningstar, and put in PLD, and get Prologis' information using the 3 sources. Yes?
It's access to they're not
For which one?
Morningstar.
We'll use Mergent and S&P 500, then you can go back and look at it later. Okay? But I'll still show you the site. Okay? You guys got Mergent, you got S&P. Okay.
You said Prologis?
Yeah, PLD. Put PLD in there, and that's what you should get. So this is the page you should get for Mergent. Okay? For Morningstar, you go to Morningstar, you put in PLD, that's what it should look like.
I think you can just go to the website too.
Well, I'm going to do that too. But don't do that, because that's going to be additional information. You don't get data from one source, you get it from multiple sources, because one source doesn't have all the data.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying because they're saying how the access is denied. You can just go to the website.
To what? Which one?
Morningstar.
Okay, and you have access to that?
Yeah.
Do you get the same level of access to the information?
I remember using it last year.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just go back and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is what Morningstar looks like. Okay? And then this is what S&P 500 looks like. So you want to be going up to those 3 sources to get the information. Okay? But we'll use Mergent tonight, and I'll look around for some stuff. Okay? To keep trying to get at the data, but I'll use Mergent as the main source, and then if I can't find the data, I'll go to the other sources because I'm already in. Okay? Then what you want to do is you want to go up to the Prologis website. So type in Prologis in your Google or whatever, and come up with this one's at www.prologis.com. Then what you want to do is you want want to click on, this is going to give you some information about the firm and some of the key metrics right here at your fingertips that you're going to use as one of your slides in your presentation, because here's basically the dashboard information. Okay? So that's Prologis. Then what you want to do is you want to go to Investor Relations. All right? Click on Investor Relations. You got company information right there. Boom, company profile, all of the information. You also have financial results. Boom, right there, which is going to give you the quarterly report, so you're going to pull up the most recent quarterly report. Then you're also going to have, I don't care about events and presentations, stock information. Boom, you got the stock quote, you got the graph, you got all the stock information right there. Then also press releases for 2018. Here are all the major press releases. Oh, we're looking right there. Prologis reports third quarter 2018 earnings results, and they're probably even going to give you some forward-looking guidance on their earnings. Okay, and we want funds from operations. Okay, is the cash flow metric that we use for REITs when you're valuing the securities. But it tells you the activity, what's going on, what they're buying, where they're expanding, what kind of new facilities they're building using state-of-the-art technologies of glass, steel, concrete, HVAC systems, all different engineering, and the basically design build plans that they're using to build these 100 square foot, 200 square foot, 300 square foot, 500 square foot, and maybe even a million square foot facilities. So those million square foot facilities are basically built to suit for Amazon.
So is that primarily what they're bidding for, or is that?
They build warehouse and distribution facilities.
That's their company?
That's their problem on a global basis for multinational corporations. And they follow them around the world. And they basically provide warehouse and distribution facilities and their logistics. Okay. Then also you have at the top here corporate governance. You can take a look at that. This gets back to your question. But I'll tell you, Hamid Moghadam, engineer from MIT, MBA, MIT, or he might have even gone to Harvard. He's an engineer. He's brilliant. He took the company from $2 billion to $4 billion to $8 billion to $18 billion under his watch. Very charismatic, a very strong leader. Okay. Then you have annual reports right here. Take a look at the 2017 annual report. There might be some information or pictures in there that you may want to incorporate into your PowerPoint presentation. I don't mind you taking pieces of other places and putting them in, but you have to cite it where you got the information so that you're not accused of plagiarism. Okay? And then lastly, the investor resources. Okay, down here, I don't care about any of this stuff. IR, investor relations contact, transfer agent, tax information, fixed income. Oh, fixed income and corporate ratings, we may want to go in there and see if we can find some yield maturities on their bonds so we can use that as a proxy cost of capital for the debt when we calculate the weighted average cost of capital. Okay. So over the next few weeks, you're going to have to get comfortable using these resources and get really comfortable and intimate with this firm. Here are some facts. These are actually pretty good. You get some facts here. And then what I would do also, if you want to write this down, this is where you get extra bonus points for this exercise. Go up to the investor relations page, go under analyst conference call, quarterly conference call, okay? And go listen to the podcast. Go listen to the annual, the quarterly conference call, in which senior level management basically presents the quarterly results benchmarked against metrics, and then gives forward guidance on the firm. They will talk about the global economy, they will talk about the global industrial and logistics market, they will talk about their financials, the financial performance, the leverage, they're going to talk about the tenants that occupy the building, and they'll talk about everything. And what you'll find out is that these people talk real estate, they talk finance, they talk technology, they talk engineering, they talk globalization, they talk everything. And these people are the top people in their field. So you want to listen to how they talk and emulate and model the way they talk.
What is that again?
It's going to be the analyst conference calls. Analyst conference calls. So under investor relations, there should be probably under press releases or investor resources, probably under press releases. We're going to have the third quarter earnings call. And usually here on the site, somewhere, you might have to Google it. You might even have to call them and say, where is the podcast of the analyst conference call? And you might even be able to Google it. But you want to listen to it. It's absolutely fascinating. It's amazing. These people are brilliant. Okay? So that's basically it. Okay, so let's get down and dirty into the valuation part of it. And now that you have the resources up, particularly Mergent, I'm going to be asking for some data. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to find some historical funds from operations. Okay? I already have the 2018 and 19 estimates, which are estimates that were provided to me. We didn't come up with these ourselves. As you read about the company, you may want to modify these estimates up and down based off of your research, not somebody else's information and somebody else's guidance. But what we'll do is we'll use this as a template for the methodology. Oh, that's good. That's a little bit better. Okay. All right. So the first thing we need to know is the time series of the funds from operations over time. You can get that from Mergent. So if you go to Mergent, you type in PLD. You're going to get this page right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to have, where is it, company financials. And then you're going to have ratios here, and maybe under analysis. So let's just look at the ratios. There's your financial ratios that you're going to use, already provided to you, turnkey, bam, you got it. Okay.
You might even have a comparison with competitors.
Yeah, you want, these are the competitors right here. Duke, DRE, Liberty, LPD, Ramsey, GPT, and First Industrial FR. So yeah, if you know how to use Mergent, then you can export the financial ratios into an Excel spreadsheet, and then put them into your product. So here you got the ROE, ROI, EBITDA. I'm looking for, oh, look at that, long-term debt to equity, long-term interest coverage, asset term and receivables, cash flow per share. We might end up using that. Oh, look at that. Cash flow per share pretty much matches up with the 318, right? Look at 318.
319.
Yeah, I already got 318. That's an estimate. So it looks like they did it. They brought it down, and then they brought it back up for 2019. So. I'll give you those numbers right now. Give me those numbers. What are they? So what was 2017? and we'll double check it. So 318, okay, what was 2016? 2.69. What was 2015? 1.85. What was 2014? 1.01. What was 2.41? Okay.
Then 1 for 2013.
1.0.
And then SSY is
Okay.
1.01 for 2012.
What was it?
1.01.
1.01. Yeah. Do you have 2011?
56 cents.
56, 0.56. Which was this?
Go back more years.
What was happening in 2009? You got it.
156 and 180.
156 and 180. This was your recession.
No, they're backward, they're flipped.
Oh, they are. So 180 and 156. Right. This was the recession. We really didn't start recovering until what, 2013. So can you calculate the percentage changes for these? Break out your calculator and calculate the percentage changes for me and give them for me for each of the years. Because what I need to do, what I would usually do is I would go back 2 cycles with 20 years, and I would basically look at the growth rates and the cash flows or the FFO per share. This is the cycle, right? Well, I don't care about this because we're not in a recession, right? And I don't care about this because we're not in decline. But I know that we're probably in this phase right here of the cycle. And if I go back in time and I calculate the percentage changes during these phases of the cycle, I can get an idea of what the future growth rates are going to be for the next 5 years if we don't fall into a recession by 2021, which I'm not going to put into this scenario. So can you do the percentage changes here? Can you do the calculations and tell me, or else we're going to run out of time? Everybody's going to break out their calculator and start yelling numbers at me.
From 08 to 09, your percentage change was 41%, 41.5.
Okay? From here to here.
It's negative.
What is it?
Negative 24.
Negative 24.
1. Negative 1.
What's this?
5.
This is 5%. 500.
0.05.
What's this? This is what, like 100%? It's like 100%. What is it? 180. And what's this? It's probably negative something. Is it like negative what? Do you guys know how to calculate percentage changes? Do you know how to calculate percentage changes? What? You don't, okay? In your senior and business school, you don't know how to calculate percentage. Okay? We need to do some rudimentary mathematics. Okay? People. That's right. That's right. So let's do this one. So 3.19 minus 3.02 divided by 3.02 gives me what? What does that give me? What does that give you? You can do it to
Negative 0.48.
what is it?
Negative 0.48.
No, how's that work?
5.6%.
What is it? 5.6%. You can also go 3.19 divided by 3.02 minus 1 times 100. You can do it like that if you want to. That's the way I do it, if it's positive. So you can do it either way. Okay? All right, so what's this? What's 2013? Negative what? What is it? You need to, Ron, you need to know how to calculate this stuff. You can't get out of here without understanding how to calculate percentage. So what's this negative what? Yeah. Negative 1. What's this? What is it? What is this? You guys need to be calculating this. What is it?
14.
41? 41? And what's recession, the growth rates and the cash flows accelerate. Okay, and then they start to mature and they start to taper off. So they start to accelerate, increase at a decreasing rate. This is your second derivative calculation. So what's this? How much? What is it? 31. Thank you. What's this?
You doing that for each one of those, like you just going back?
I'm calculating the percentage change for all of these, so I can get a trend that in FFO or free cash flow. What is it?
45.4.
45. What's this? What you're going to see is the growth rates are going to start to slow.
15.4%.
15.4. What's this? That's going to be negative something. Something happened here. Okay? Something happened here. There's something wrong. There's probably an impairment or something. But just calculate it.
Negative 5.2.
What is it?
Negative 5.2.
Okay, what's this one?
5.6.
What is it?
That's all we just did.
5.6?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so right off the bat, okay, can we use the negative? Do you think that the FFO, the funds from operations per share is going to decline next year? Are we going to be in a recession next year?
No.
No, so do you think the FFO per share is going to decline? What?
No.
You can't use this, you can't use that. Okay, so this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Do you think that the FFO per share is going to grow 40% or 31%? No. It's highly improbable. So again, you can't use that. You can't use that. You can't use that. You can't use that. Can you use 180? You think the FFO per share is going to grow to 180? What about 15.4%?
Possibly.
Well, what about this? Why don't we take this? What's the percentage change between this? This and this. What is that like? 3%? 0.3? 0.3? So really nothing. So it's flat, right? So we can't use that, right? So 15, what's the midpoint between 15.4 and 5.6? What is it, like 10%? You got basically 6%. You know it's not going to be 15, right? We're too late in the business cycle. They've already started to adjust the global GDP growth rates down to basically 2.7% from 3%. So we're at the peak of the global business cycle. We're already on the way down. Okay. So we're not going to be getting really high growth rates. So what do you think? 5.6? Does that sound about right? So you want to use the 13.19? Okay. This is just easy. If you might want to play with the numbers a little bit too. Maybe when you do your research, you might find some conflicting. Let's just use 6%.
Is that a coincidence that the number is in the 2019 year or in the?
These were provided to me by MAH01385. So they basically did a consensus estimate from the analysts, basically took an average, and then came up with these estimates. You think when you read about the firm, you may say, no, I think actually the growth rate in earnings per share from 18 to 19 may actually be 10%. And then you can adjust, multiply the 3.02 by 1.1 to get a 10% growth rate as opposed to a 6%. But let's use 6%. Because 3% is too low. That's basically inflation, right? And 10% is a little, probably too high. So a midpoint between 3 and 10, you get what? 6? That's about right. So we're just estimating, guesstimating. Okay? There could be a lot more behind this type of analysis, but we don't have time to do that. Okay? Because we got to get on with this. All right. So now we have the estimated earnings per share, the FFO per share for 2019, which is going to be what? $3.19. Got it. Okay. Now we got to come up with the discount rates. Right? And we already know that the expected market return using the S&P 500 is between 8 and 10%. Okay, so we already have one range of discount rate. Now what we need to do is to figure out the expected return on the equity using the capital asset pricing model. So can you go to Yahoo Finance or go to Mergent or go to S&P or go to Morningstar and find me the beta? Find me the beta on Yahoo Finance. Find me the beta. And what about the risk-free rate? What do you want to use? Where's the 10-year Treasury yielding right now? Because the capital asset pricing model, which you use to estimate the expected return on the stock, is the risk-free rate times the beta, plus the beta, times the return on the market minus the risk-free rate. Now we already know, oh, did you find the beta? What is it? 0.97. Anybody else? Same, when we use 0.97. REIT securities have less systematic risk than any other type of stock in the capital markets. They are almost counter-cyclical to a certain degree. They're very durable cash flows. And the companies are conservatively leveraged. So the volatility in the stock prices are not as volatile as other types of companies. So what is it, 0.97? Okay, let's use 0.97. Plus 0.97, got it. And then what about the risk-free rate? Where's the 10-year Treasury yielding right now? You can go to Yahoo Finance and find that out right now. 10-year Treasury yield, go to Yahoo Finance. That's why we're in this class. That's why we're using these computers, so I can train you to be able to retrieve the information instantaneously, because when you're sitting in a meeting and they ask you a question, you better know how to get the data. What's the 10-year Treasury yield? What is it?
1.17.
What is it? 3.2. Do you think that interest rates are going to go up or down next year? Go up? So you think that the 10-year Treasury yield is going to go up? To what? What's your estimate of forward-looking interest rates using the 10-year Treasury as the risk-free rate? Okay, where's the 10-year Treasury yielding right now? 3.2. Do you think interest rates are going to go up or down? Okay, so what do we want to use as the risk-free rate? 3.25? 3.25? 3.25. One of our macroeconomists within our firm has basically done a forward curve forecast on the 10-year Treasury, and he's come up with a 3.25 10-year Treasury for this time next year.
So I looked at that.
So we already know that this is going to be 3.25. Got it. We got the data. Now we got to come up with the estimated return on the S&P 500. What's been the average rate of return on the S&P 500 annualized over the last 20 years? What? Yeah, around 8%. Do you want to use 8? Okay, let's use 8. Okay, so what's 8 minus 3.25? What is it? 4.75? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is this percentage going to be 0.08?
No, I'm using 8% of I'm using 3.25. I'm using whole numbers to make the math easier. Because when you start using fractions and decimal points, it gets more confusing. So I use the whole numbers on this. So what is 4.75 times 0.97? Which is the beta?
4.6.
Is that right? Okay. 4.6. And what's 4.6 plus 3.25? 7.85, or basically 7.9%. That is the expected return by the equity investors using the capital asset pricing model. So we're gonna take that 7.9, and that's gonna be one of our discount rates, is 7.9, let's just use 8%. And actually, the 8% is gonna be the highest. So, 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%. Usually actually what we're going to do, we'll do it like this. We'll do 9%, because the expected return on the market is between 8 and 10%, so we'll use 9%. Then what we'll do is we'll take the cost of the equity or the expected return on the equity using CAPM and use that as the midpoint, because the weighted average cost of capital is going to be less than the cost of the equity. So this is the expected return on the market. This is your capital asset pricing model, and this is going to be your weighted average cost of capital. Now we have the discount rate scenarios. Got it. So we need to go back, we need to calculate the weighted average cost of capital. So in Mergent, you find the value of the long-term debt and the value of the owner's equity. Can you find that on Mergent? It should be on the very first page.
Says long-term debt,
Do you have it? Give it to me in dollar amounts.
no, it doesn't have to.
Okay. Dude, you can't be like shopping for stuff. You need to be following along. If you want to check out, go someplace else. Don't waste my time. This is too important. This is my career. Okay, so let's go back. Did you find the long-term debt?
Long-term debt, it says as of December 2017.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Says 9 billion,
Yeah, probably.
9.4 billion.
Okay, 9.4 billion. Got it. Can you give me the value of the owner's equity? You need to be on Mergent, Donald. Looking for this data. What? You need to find that financial information. You got to find me the long term. Yeah. Do you have the? You got to go up to the financials page and you got to get to the balance sheet. You got to get to the value of the long-term equity. You got to go look for it.
What was it that you wanted?
The equity, the value of the equity, because I already got the value of the long-term debt. We already have the value. Is that right? Can you confirm that? Go up to Mergent and confirm that and find the data.
You want the
Yes. Stockholders' equity. What is it? What is it?
It's 15, I don't know if this is in millions or
It's in billion.
oh, it's 15 billion, 631 million.
0.6 billion.
Bottom
That's it.
of,
Can you confirm that? Can you confirm the value of the long-term debt and the value of the owner's equity?
What is it?
that's the stockholders' equity, but it's also the total equity.
I just want stockholders.
Yeah, that's stockholders.
I want the small one, I don't want the big one.
The non-controlling interest?
No, let's just use this.
Oh,
Okay, so if their debt, if they have 9.4 billion in debt, 15.6 billion in equity, is this company conservatively leveraged? Yes or no? Yeah, it's conservatively leveraged, right? Because the debt is less than the equity. In most other firms, they use more debt than equity. In REITs, they're extremely conservatively leveraged, and this company is extremely conservatively leveraged, which means they have dry powder to issue more debt to basically buy and develop new assets to basically grow the firm in the future, which is extremely exciting.
Is there like a few number of people that gets the large share of that?
Yeah, most of the owner's equity in this firm is owned by pension funds, not retail investors. Because what they did in 1993 is they basically converted from a private company that basically held private assets on behalf of their institutional clients and did an upreit structure and converted those assets into shares to their investors. And basically has maintained a significant portion of their balance sheet, particularly the assets financed by using equity backed by pension plans. Not every REIT has that. This REIT is amazing. So what's 9.4 billion plus 15.6 billion? Ron, you can just run the math. What is it? 25? Okay, 25 billion. So what's 9.4 billion divided by 25 billion, which is going to give us the weight of the debt? 9.4 divided by 25 billion. What? Point? 0.37 or 37%. What's 1 minus 0.37? What is it? 0.63. So basically, their assets are financed by 63% equity and 37% debt. Okay, that's how they finance their assets. So you have 63% equity and you have 37% debt. That is their capital structure. That is their capital stack. That is their capital structure. Okay. So what was their cost of equity? What was the expected return on the equity using the capital asset pricing model? Yeah, it was 8%. And then any place in Mergent, any place on their website, any place in the Google search, you can find the yield maturity or the coupon interest rate on their 10-year debt. Can you find any type of estimate of the cost of their debt? I thought I saw one, fixed income and corporate ratings here. Oh, look at that. USD, look, there's an issue right there. 3.75% coupon interest on their debt. And it looks like they actually even raised money out of Europe using euro debt. So let's just use the 3.7, so basically 4%. And their cost of debt, I just quickly looked at one of their issues, and the coupon interest was 3.7%. And if we assume that interest rates are going to go up in the future, that's going to go up, so let's use 4%. You see how I did it? So just went in and found the yeah, this is Prologis.
So you just use their most recent?
Yeah, so I looked at the most recent. So there was 2 issues, two in the United States, one at 4.25, the other one was at 3.75. So that's basically roughly 4%. So let's use 4% cost of debt. So 4%. All right, so do the calculation here for me. Calculate the weighted average cost of capital. Usually what you'll do is you'll do 1 minus the tax rate, right? On the cost of the debt, you'll do 1 minus the tax rate because you can deduct the interest on the bonds. But REITs are unique. REITs in 1960, when they were established under the Real Estate Investment Trust Act, basically stated that if the REIT pays out the majority of its income, its earnings, as dividends, they don't pay corporate level taxation.
Well, then it's like 90% or something.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the weighted average cost of capital? What's 4% times 0.37?
6.52 total.
Is it 6.52 or 7%? Boom, right there. So I use the weighted average cost of capital calculation to come up with the lower bound discount rate. I use the capital asset pricing model, you get the 8%, and I basically plug the expected return on the market to create the sensitivities in the discount rates. Boom, we're done. Then usually what I do is I will take the midpoint to do the calculations. You're going to have to do this. I'm not going to do everything. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide the 3.19, which is the FFO per share for 2019, by 0.07, 0.08, and 0.09 to get the intrinsic valuation sensitivities using the perpetuity approach. Okay? So what is, I'll use 0.08. So So what's $3.19 divided by 0.08?
39.87.
What is it?
39.87.
The first thing I want to do is check their stock price. Where's it trading? Yeah,
67.
67.
0.12.
What is it?
67.12.
Is what, how much?
$67.12.
Got it. Why is it so low? Why is it so low?
Because it's low, so,
No, why is it so low? Why is this first valuation method so low compared to the current stock price?
Because we're using limited information and we're also saying that's going to be the price forever in the future.
Yeah, what is the assumption about the cash flows?
it's the same.
Great, they stay the same, so there's no growth rate assumption in here. So that's why it's so much different. Let's do the working right. So we know what the cash flow per share is going to be for next year. We know what the discount rate is going to be. So the question is, what do you think? What rate do you think that you can grow your FFO per share at forever? Now, these real estate assets are state-of-the-art, in great locations, high quality, and real estate is a freaking money machine that's attached to the land. Does the real estate go anywhere? What's the probability that this company will go out of business? Yeah, zero. Long-term leases, high-quality tenants, high-quality product, great locations, great company. What do you think that they can grow their FFO per share out at per year forever? If it's a big company.
3.5.
What?
3.5.
Yeah, well, the most conservative is the long-term inflation rate, right? Yeah, so they can grow their FFO out at the inflation rate, which rents do track inflation, because real estate is a commodity, so the rents and the cash flows will track inflation over the long run. 3% is a good estimate. So what do you want to use? Let's just test it and see what it looks like. Let's try 3%. So what's 0.08 minus 0.03? 0.05. What's 3.19 divided by 0.05?
63.3.
Oh, geez. Are we getting close?
Yeah.
63 point what?
8.
And actually, it looks like it's trading at 67.12. We changed this before, that we get close. So the market is expecting the cash flows to grow at 4% forever. So you can actually back into the current price by using the model. We already know what the discount rate is, so we just manipulate the growth rate to get to the current stock price, and it tells us what the market expectations are in regards to the cash flow growth rates forever. Okay? So we'll just stick with 60, 63.
That's pretty accurate considering.
Yeah, this is a very simplistic model. We're not even using the multiple approach yet.
I'm just saying because within the last 5 days, it was at 63.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah, because of the growth rate assumption. Now let's use the multiple approach. So the first thing I like to do is to start manufacturing multiples. Okay, manufacturing multiples. So we know that we can create a multiple using the perpetuity model. So what's 1 divided by 0.08?
12.5.
What is it?
12.5.
12.5 times. But that doesn't include any growth rate. Right? So we can use the Gordon growth again to test another multiple. We know that 8% minus the 3% is 0.05. So what's 1 divided by 0.05? You can sit up here, Trent. You can sit up here. Don't sit in the back and check out. You should sit up here and really follow along this. Because if you're going to go work for any publicly traded company, this is what we do. So what's 1 divided by 0.05? What is it? 20? 20 times, which is closer to the multiples that we're seeing in the marketplace right now compared to the peer group and the subject firm. Then what I like to do is I like to take the price of the stock for last year and divide it by the funds from operations per share from last year. So give you last year's stock price.
From today, like last year.
Yeah, that's fine. Go look at it, see kind of an average.
66.22.
What is it?
66.22.
So 66.22. And we know that the FFO per share was, what, $3.18. So what's 66.22 divided by 3.18? This is like the price to earnings.
20.82.
What is it?
20.82.
20.82, or basically 21. Okay, got it. And then what's the current stock price?
67.12.
67.12. And what's our estimated FFO per share for 18? 3.02. So what's 67.12 divided by 3.02? 22.22 times, got it. And then what do you think the stock price is going to be next year? Do you think it's going to be higher or lower than this?
Higher.
Yeah. What, you want to just say 68 or something?
68.5.
Just use a plug number. So what's 68? And we know that we came up with an estimated FFO per share 3.19. So let's divide that by 3.19.
21.3.
What do you get?
21.3.
So basically what we did here is we've estimated multiples. So where are the multiples trading for this company? Just looking at those. Yes, in the 20. And then look over here. Look at the sample, the peer group. Where's the multiple currently for the peer group?
A little lower.
Yeah. So it's like what? Between 18 and 20, right? 18, 19, 20. 20, 19, 18, we got it. And we got the multiples. So let's do that. So for the multiple approach, we already know what the FFO per share is going to be for 2019. 2019 is what? $3.19 times what? We're going to do 20, 19, 18 times. So what's 20 times 3.19?
63.8.
What is it? 63.8. What's 19? 60.61. And what's 18? 57.42. Got it.
The first one was supposed to be 63.8.
Got it. But the current stock price is trading at 67.12. Based on our estimates, we're either using, the market is either using higher multiples or a higher projected FFO per share to get to this 67.12. I'm just saying, it could be. That's something you have to determine. You have to figure that out. So when you look at this stuff right here, let's do we haven't calculated the discounted cash flow yet. Right? And that one gets a higher rate, so let's take a look at that. So what I'll do just as a benchmark is just take this one right here. We'll just take this one for now. We may go back, but it's really going to be hard to justify a 21. Look, their multiple is actually a 21 and 22. So we may be underestimating this. Why don't we do that and see what we come up with? Because theirs is 21. 20. So give me the numbers on that. So this is their projected 66,
99.
99. Give me the next one. What is it? 8. Got it. And what's the next one?
66.82.
60?
61.
60. We're still underneath the current stock price, so what you need to do is you need to verify this. Okay? To make sure that that's correct. And then you plug it in. But we'll just use this as the exercise. We'll just go through the exercise. Okay. So we already know, we've already done the multiple approach. We've already got the Gordon growth valuation down. We already got the perpetuity valuation down. We're just going to need to model this and then verify the 2019 FFO per share. And then we already know what the first year cash flow is what? 3.19. What do you think the cash flow will grow at? What year is this? This is 2019, right? This is 2020. This is 2021, this is 2022, this is 2023. So what do you think the economics are going to look like? We may run into a recession in here, maybe. We won't do a negative recession scenario, which is maybe bring down the growth rates. So what do you think they can grow their FFO per share at between 2019 and 20? What?
4 and 6.
Well, you think they can do another 6%? I mean, is the global economy pretty much holding up fairly well today?
Yeah.
We made it through the midterm elections. We've made it through the trade wars pretty much. The IMF has basically lowered their global GDP growth rates to basically 3.1, 2.7. They're not forecasting a recession. We're not going into the decline phase. We're not going into the recession. We're still staying in the growth peak phase of the global business cycle. So what's the growth rate you want to use for the FFO per share between 2019 and 20? 4%? Sure? There might be some loss to lease within their leases. So as the leases roll, they can move it to market. Because those commercial leases are long-term leases that basically are signed for 5 to 7 years. When they turn, we can jack the rents. So you might want to embed some loss of lease in this form.
I read it, I was reading too, it said that industrial is kind of going to take a dip in 2020, but then take back off in 2021.
Okay.
And just because of
Okay. You just average out the numbers.
So
What do you think? This is the debate that we have within these meetings in the conference room. These are the debates we have. This is the stuff we do.
6%.
Okay, I got 6%. Anybody else?
8.
I got 8. I got 6. I got two inputs out of 32. I got 32 analysts with only 2 people providing the inputs. I like to work based on consensus. I don't like to listen to just 2 people. I like to hear from other people. So what did you say?
I like that.
8? Okay, I got 8. Anybody else? 5? 7? Come on, you got to get engaged in the process, and you're going to go back over the next week, and you're going to go up in flames. If you go up to the website, if you go up to the analysts, you go up to Merging, you go up to S&P, you go up to Morningstar, they're going to give you some analysis. So I got 8, I got 7, I got 5. That's basically 6. Anybody
I
else?
think 7 is a good number.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Right here, anything from the back? Anybody? I'm going to take 7%, so it's 13.19 times 1.07. What is it? 3.41. Oh, you guys are so lucky. I actually had it on film because I know how much you love to watch my videos. What is it? 3.41. Got it. And what do you think the growth rate's gonna be? Come on, people, you need to participate. What do you think the growth rate's gonna be between 2020 and 2021?
5%.
What's 3.41 times 1.05?
3.58.
3.58. And what's the growth rate between 2021 and 22? Usually you don't go back up again, you usually trend it down.
2%.
What's 3.58 times 1.04?
3.72.
3.72. And what's the growth rate between 2022 and 2023?
Stay level at 4.
I'm going to go 1.03 because I want to stick to the convention. The methodology is you take the growth rates down.
3.83.
And what about between 2023 and 2024? What is it? No, you can't go down, you can't go up. What's 3.83 times 1.02? And what's our discount rate that we're using? You're going to have to run the sensitivities on this. So you're going to have to build an Excel spreadsheet. So what's our expected return? What are we using as the discount rate?
The market is 8%.
We're using 8%. So am I going to use 8% or am I going to use something slightly higher?
For your terminal value?
Yeah, to calculate the terminal value, am I going to use a higher, lower, or equal the going in discount rate? We use a higher terminal discount rate. Why?
Because you can sell it for that, and it's.
Now, why would I use a higher discount rate?
It's gonna appreciate.
Why would I use a higher discount rate to calculate the going in discount rate? I used an 8%. Now I'm using a 9%. Why am I using a higher discount rate? What? What? Why am I using a higher discount rate?
To be more conservative.
To be more conservative, and can I forecast with 100% accuracy what Prologis and its assets are going to be going through from year 6 into infinity? Does real estate assets get pounded by weather? So does the physical plant actually physically deteriorate due to weather? Are they exposed to earthquakes? Do you think that in 10 or 15 years from now, new product that's coming online will basically supplant their existing product that was built 15 years before in regards to functional obsolescence or functionality? Yeah, so they're going to be subjected to physical deterioration and functional obsolescence, along with exposure to the economy, okay, in the future that we can't predict. So there's going to be more risk in the future, and we reflect that increasing risk to be conservative by using a higher discount rate. What about the terminal growth rate? What are we going to use? What did we use? What did we use over here? 3%. Are we going to use a higher, lower, or equal growth rate for the terminal growth rate? Lower. Why would we use lower? Why would we use a lower growth rate? To be conservative and to reflect the risks. Increased competition, obsolescence, physical deterioration. Exactly. So what's 0.09 minus 0.02? What's 3.91 divided by 0.07? What is it? 55 point what?
85.
85. You guys must be sick and tired of me by now, because we're going over the exact same stuff over and over again. Is that how you usually learn stuff?
Yeah.
To the point where you get totally sick of it? Right? And you remember it for the rest of your life. So what do we do now?
Add the terminal value to the last year.
Add the terminal value to the last year cash flow, so it's 55.85 plus 3.83. You should be running on this.
59.68.
59.68. We didn't even do the calculation for the discount factor yet, so let's do that. So what's our discount rate?
3%.
What's our discount rate?
8%.
8%. So what's 1.08 to the 1? 1.08. What's 1.08 to squared?
1.66.
1.16. What's 1.08 cubed? What is it?
1.26.
26. What's 1.08 to the fourth power?
1.36.
I'm getting carried away. And what was 1.08 to the fourth power?
1.36.
And what's 1.08 to the fifth power?
1.47.
Got it. So what's $59.68 divided by 1.47? This will make your final a lot easier since we went over it again.
40.6.
What is it?
40.6.
What?
40.6.
Thank you. And then what's 3.72 divided by 1.36?
2.73.
And what's the 3.58 divided by 1.26? Everybody else should be double checking these numbers. What is it? 2.84. It's 3.41 divided by 1.16. What's 3.19 divided by 1.08? What is it? 0.95? What? 95. Got it. Okay, and can you add those up for me so we can get the intrinsic value using the discounted cash flow? What is it?
It's 52.06.
Is that right? So what's our problem?
It's still beneath the current stock price.
Still below the current stock price, so what is the market assuming about this company?
It's going to grow.
What is it?
It's gonna increase.
Well, it either could be overvalued or where are we making our mistakes? Yeah, our initial cash flows would be underestimated. What else?
Discount rate,
Discount rate would be too high. What else?
terminal values.
Terminal values, we could be using too high discount rates, too low growth rates. We could be using too conservative growth rates. You're going to have to figure this stuff
Or it's overvalued.
out. Or it's overvalued. So what do we got? So what's the perpetuity model? What did we get? 39.9. What did we get for Gordon Grove? 63.8. What did we get for multiple?
63.80.
63.8. What do we get for DCF? 2.06. What's the rating? What's the weighting scheme you want to use? Oh, we didn't even done NAV per share yet. Shit, I forgot to put NAV in. Can you find me a net operating income number for the assets in the somewhere in the financials? Can you find me a net operating income for 2017? And we'll just throw it out and come up with an NAV number. Yeah, a net operating income for 2019, there might even be an estimate. What is it? 1.09? Is that 1.019 billion? Just give me like these numbers. So 1 billion, it's probably in billions, isn't it? This is a $19 billion firm.
It's a million. It's a million.
A $19 billion firm does not generate $1 million in net operating income. It's a billion, so roughly $1 billion in NOI for 2017.
Yeah, it's a million.
What's the percentage change between 2016 and 17? Do you have 2018? Okay, you just have 17. What was the percentage change in net operating income between 2016 and 17?
Is there there a difference between net income and net operating?
We use net operating income. They might actually be the same.
It says here that net income is 1.3 million.
1.3, we'll just use that. Not gonna make a material difference. Okay, so what was the growth rate? 14%. Do you think they can grow net operating income at 14% again?
No,
No, what do you want to use?
something lower,
Yeah, what do you want to use?
12.
12? So what's 1.3 times 1.12?
It's 16%.
We're still use a 12% growth rate for the to get from 2017 to 2018.
1.45 billion.
1.45 billion. So that's going to be your 2018 estimate. What do you think the growth rate's going to be to get to 2019? 1.1. So what do we get for 2019?
1.6 billion.
This is going to give us 1.6 billion. Got it. Now, what do you think? What do you think the cap rate is blended on all of their properties? What do you think the cap rate is? Well, it's their high quality assets in great locations. You're going to use the 20 cap rate. So basically, the 10%. Anybody else? It's usually really good apartment buildings, cap rates are 5%. Buildings that are highly in inferior locations, that are functionally obsolete, physically deteriorated, those cap rates are probably in the 10 to 12 range.
It's definitely better than an apartment, right?
Well, it's a these are high quality assets with almost zero vacancy in these industrial markets. And I probably wouldn't go to 4. There's got to be somewhere between 5 and 10. 7? It might actually even be 6, but let's test it. Let's test it at 7. So what's 1.6 billion divided by 0.07? What is it? What? 1.6 divided by 0.07 at the cap rate. So the total value of the assets
22.8.
is 22.8 million. And what's the current market cap? What's the current market cap on this company?
42.
What's the shares outstanding times the current stock price? What's the total market value of the equity?
42 billion.
42 billion
42.25.
for the equity. 44 billion. So the stock price times the shares outstanding. The market cap is 44 billion. So what's the shares outstanding? How many shares are outstanding? What's the shares outstanding? Because I got the value of the firm using a 7% cap rate on the projected 2019 NOI. If I divide it by the number of shares outstanding, I can get the net asset value per share. It's not a great estimate of the NAV, but it's pretty close. So this is the net asset value right here. We want net asset value per share. Did you get the shares outstanding?
Yeah, it's 648. I don't know what that means. So what is it?
648 million?
It says MM, I don't know what that means.
That's million. 648 million shares outstanding. So what's 22.8 billion divided by 648 million? That's going to give us an NAV per share.
What is the shares outstanding?
Somebody told me it was 648 million. Where in Mortgage did you find the shares outstanding?
Found it on
So you got it from the S&P 500 net advantage. Are you guys confirming that? Did anybody else find that? Does that look right? I don't like to take one data point. Is that right?
648.
Okay, that's right. And you're getting it from a different source?
Yeah.
Perfect. So that confirms it.
Morningstar says 630.
Perfect. So what's that 22.8 billion divided by 648 billion?
3.5.
What is it?
3.5.
What?
3.51.
3.51? Is that right? Just do it in thousands. Do it in millions. So it's 22,800 divided by 648. What is it? 35.18. So 35.18. That's the net asset value. Okay. And if you use maybe you can get away with using a 6% cap rate. You probably wouldn't use a 5%. Maybe you could use a 5. It's new product on logistics, brand new product in great locations. Maybe you could use a 5. But here, what's going to happen is the NAV is always going to be lower than the current stock price. So what's our NAV? You're going to have to play with the NAV. Give me the NAV. What is it? What did we come up with? You can play with these net operating income growth rates. The shares outstanding aren't going to change. Maybe the net asset value might change if you use higher growth rates and lower cap rates. You'll have to justify that. The shares outstanding aren't going to change. But what's always going to happen is the NAV is going to be lower than the current stock price. Okay? The NAV is going to be lower than the current stock price. And we got 35.18. So what's 67.12 minus 35.18?
31.94.
NAV per share. So the franchise value, the premium, in which people are willing to pay above the net asset value, they're willing to pay how much above the real estate value to buy the stock? How much? 67.12 minus 35.18?
31.94.
What is it? So the investors are willing to pay $31.94 per share more than the real estate to buy the share. This is the franchise value. And what's the premium? What's 67.12 minus 35.18 divided by 35.18? What's the premium? 91%. So this company is trading at a 91% premium over the net asset value of the real estate. Why would they pay that much? Why would they pay more for the stock than the underlying real estate? Potential long-term growth rates.
They have a lot of profits.
They've been consistently generating growth rates in their cash flow, in growing the firm consistently over the last 20 years. So the market believes that they will continue to grow the firm, continue to generate cash flow, and to continue to appreciate their stock price forever going forward. So they're willing to pay the premium. Okay. How are we doing on time? We're almost done.
13 minutes.
Okay. So now we got to do the weighting scheme. So what was the NAV? What was it? What was the NAV?
35.18.
35.18. Okay. So we have have basically the evaluation. So what's the weighting scheme that we're going to use? We got to do 3 scenarios, 3 weighting scenarios. I'm not going to do all 3 because we're running out of time. So give me a weighting scenario for these.
10, 20, 30, 40.
Well, no, the NAV and the perpetuity are the most simplistic, and they should get the least amount of weight.
5 and 5.
Yeah, I usually give them 5%. So let's do. So this is going to be by 0.05, and the NAV is going to be by 0.05. Okay. What about the DCF? What's the weight you want to get for discounted cash flow?
50%.
How much?
50%.
And what do you want to get for multiple? Actually, multiple should get more than. Actually, multiple should get the 50. Okay. So what do you want to give DCF? DCF and multiple should get the most.
25, 30.
30. So we got 80, 90, and then for Gordon growth, 0.1. So let's do one of these scenarios. So it's 39.9 times 0.05. What is it? 2. What is 63.8 times 0.1? That's easy. 6.3. And then what's 63.8 times 0.5?
31.9.
What is it?
31.9.
And then what's $52 times 0.3?
15.6.
15.6. And what's 3518 NAV times 0.05? What is it? Got it. And then add those up, and what do we get? As an intrinsic value under scenario 2. It's 1.76 plus 15.6 plus 31.9 plus 6.3 plus 2. What do we get? 56. Is that pretty close to 63, 67? Maybe $10. So you may want to play this with the assumptions. Well, let's just use it, right? So our intrinsic value is 57.56. What's the current stock price? 67.12. Is it trading at a premium or a discount? Trading at a premium or discount to the intrinsic value. If our intrinsic value is 57.56 and the current price is 67.12, is it trading at a premium or a discount to the intrinsic value? Is the intrinsic value at a premium or a discount to the current stock price? It's at a discount. How much?
$10.
Yeah, I'll give you the percentage. What's the percentage? What's the percentage discount? %, discount. 14% discount. What would be our recommendation? What would be the recommendation that we would make to our clients? What would be the recommendation that we would make? Sell. Do you think Prologis makes up a significant portion of the REIT indexes?
Yeah.
Yep. So what would be your derivative trade recommendations based on the indexes? Based on this research?
So short.
You can look at your memos. You can look at your notes. Are you going to sell or are you going to do what? What are we doing? You need to memorize this stuff. Go back to your exams. What do you do?
Sell calls.
What do you do with the,
Sell short, like
what are we gonna do?
We're talking about the index.
We're talking about the index derivative trades. What would be our trades on the index?
Sell calls.
Yep,
He sells on the index.
that's not the terminology that I'm using. If you think the prices are gonna go down, what do?
You sell what you have.
Now, go back to the trades that I trained you on in your quiz and that you've been using in your memos that you've been doing your memos. What?
Wait, the sell price now?
Yeah, what's your derivative trades?
Derivative trades, you would sell short.
Based in the memos, based on your quiz. What are the derivative trades that you would implement if the index values are going to go down? If you think that the stock price is going to go down, do you think it's going to drag down the indexes? So what would be my derivative trades on the indexes? You need to go back to your notes from the second week or the third week of class. And you got to go back to your quiz, and you got to go back to your memos. What? What's the terminology that I use? I don't use sell. I use write. So what are we going to do? We're going to write what?
Right
We're going to
calls.
write forwards.
Right calls.
We're going to write forwards. What else are we going to write? Do it in order. We're going to write futures. What else are we going to do?
Right, calls on futures.
We're going to write calls on the futures. We're going to do what else? We're going to buy the puts on the futures. Got it. Now, do you think that Prologis is going to make up a significant portion of the rate exchange traded funds? Absolutely. So if we think that the exchange traded fund shares are going to go down, what would be our derivative trades?
Right.
No, what's the first thing I would do with the stock?
Oh, you sell it.
I'd sell
Short.
short. So we would sell short. Okay, what's the next one? We're going to do what?
Sell on market.
No, we already sold short.
Well, if you have shares, sell them.
We're going to sell short. Oh yeah, I could sell also the shares.
Right.
I can write puts. You want to write puts or buy puts?
Buy puts.
Right
Puts
calls, by
Right calls.
and write calls. Got it. And what about the stock itself?
right
I could
forwards,
sell it.
right futures, right calls.
No, I'm not doing futures and forwards on, I can only do it on indexes. I can't do it on ETFs or stocks. So I can sell short.
Right calls and buy
I can
puts.
write calls, and I can buy puts. So how many trades do I have for the stocks?
15.
How many trades do I have for the stock? 4. How many trades do I have for the ETFs? What? 4. How many trades do I have for the index? How many total trades do I have?
12.
Okay. How much time do I have?
3 minutes.
What you're going to need to do is you're going to have to go find the asset value or the market cap. I can do it in 3 minutes. So you got REIT 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You already have it right here. So these are the REITs. Okay. You can go find their assets. You can use 2017 or you can use the 2018 market cap. But to be consistent, I would use 2017 assets. You basically get the number for these. I should be recording this, shouldn't I? I can do it in 3 minutes. So you're going to get the assets for the 5 REITs. Then what you're going to do is you're going to sum it up. Okay, you're going to sum it up. Then you're going to take this number and you're going to divide it into that. And you're going to take this number and you're going to divide it into that. And you're going to divide it into that, into that. And you're going to get these weights. And it's going to add up to 100. Okay? So you take these weights here, and then the first thing you're going to do is take return on equity. Right? And you're going to use point something here, right? Not the percentages. Okay? Then you're going to multiply. You're going to multiply the weight for the first read times the ROE for the first read to basically get the ROE share, okay, which is going to be this right here. And you're going to do this for all of them. And you're going to calculate these shares right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to sum those up. And this is going to give you the weighted average return on equity for the peer group. So you don't take the average of the ROE for all of the companies, you take a weighted average and you use the assets as basically the scaling factor. Do you understand? And if you build a spreadsheet out of this, then that's all you do is copy and paste this over here, and you change ROE to ROA, to debt to equity, to the quick ratio, to P, the price to FFO per share multiples, the last 3 years growth rate in the revenues. And then that's what you use in your pitch book, in your financial ratio analysis pages. So you got the company. You're going to use Prologis, the direct competitor I would use is First Industrial as their direct competitor. So you get their financial ratios, calculate peer group ratios, conduct a financial ratio analysis, and come up with the overall financial